Well, hello everyone, Dan Hurd, Prospecting here. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome. I hope to earn your subscription today. I am here on the Fraser River at extreme low water. Spring runoff is just starting, so this is about as low as it gets. It starts to come up from here, and I am here with the high banker on this gravel bar that showed me so much gold last year. And I want to see what I can get in a couple hours of high banking. And I'm hoping I'll get a lot. So wish me luck, and I hope you enjoy. At extreme low water like this, I have a perfect spot to run the high banker right there. It has a divot, a low point in the gravel bar, which creates a natural tailings pond. It's over 10 meters away from the water's edge, which here in British Columbia, Canada, the rules say on the Fraser, we have to be 10 meters back, and we can't let the water go directly back into the river. We have to let it settle out in a settling pond. So I got a nice little settling pond, 10 meters back. I've got some really nice gravels down there. And today, I'm going to extract some of the gold that is hiding in those gravels. Now, my goal today is not just to find a whole lot of that shiny gold. I am on some really hot ground, and I want to see how long it takes to find 1 ounce of gold on this hot ground. My claim does encompass all of those gravel bars on the far side, and at low water like this, when they're really flat, I really want to get over there and test those one day. Unfortunately, to get in, it's a very long hike from the road way above on the other side. You have to take a ferry across, you have to drive down, take a long hike down, but those gravels look amazing. One day I'll do it. It's really unfortunate. Lately, I've had a hard time catching my breath when I'm hiking real hard or walking long distances. I don't know if it's my heart acting up again, or if it's just the fact that it's been a long winter and I'm really out of shape. So I'm being very careful. I am going to see the cardiologist in about a week's time to make sure my heart's still in good shape. Yeah, hopefully I can just get myself back in shape so I can do hikes like that. Even just walking up and down the hill here with the high banker. Killing me, absolutely killing me. Let's get down there, get digging. Now, there's quite a berm here with these rocks and the sand on one side, rocks on the other, creating quite a little hollow right in behind here. And I'm not sure how long they can run into that, but we should be able to run a significant amount. And the gravels I want are just over here, so it's not gonna be too bad to carry it back and forth to the high banker. I might be able to toss a little bit. I think I can make this work. And today I will be using the Gold Hog's Piglet high banker, just the little guy. He'll do the job I need. I'm just a one-man team here digging today, so I won't be able to put too much gravel through. The little guy will be just fine. Now right here and right there is where I took those 2 pans on a previous video and got almost a 1/4 gram of gold. I think it was 2, may have been 3. It sure wasn't very much. So I'm gonna clear the rocks around here. I'm gonna see if I can dig some of this stuff today. It is a bit of a walk over to the high banker from here, but that's where the high banker needs to be in order to discharge into the tailings pond. So that's what it's gonna be. Time to move some big rocks. Oh, that one's stuck. Oh, that's not. Oops. All fixed up. Got very low water flow today because I'm doing very slow at getting the gravel to the machine. I will guarantee you there's now gold in the box. The pond is slowly filling up nicely. We're running nicely. There's definitely gold in the box. Hard digging in this big gravel, but we'll get there. Time for my first break and breather, get a drink, get my wind back again for round 2. I'm not sure if I can see anything in the box, but let's have a look. I may have shut it down too quick. There's still a lot of sand in there, but I guarantee there will be gold in that box. I see one piece that's worth getting out the close-up. Lots of great loose black sands and small garnets and everything down in the riffles. And most of the gold is hidden underneath all that black sand. But when I pushed my finger over top of one of them, I exposed a really nice little piece of gold. One visible piece of gold in the box, 500,000 invisible ones. Invisible as in buried in the black sands. And there's another one hiding out over here. I'm sure there's a million of them in there. Okay, maybe 500,000. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day on the Fraser Hood. Being right up on this very, very loose sand. The sand is sucking in the water like mad. It just gone. I think I'm gonna take a bit of time while I've stopped running and just remove some more rocks and try to make this spot a little easier to dig, and take some of the really high grade stuff that I can't really dig because it's in little pockets, and just push it down to where I can dig it easily. There's a few spots like that, but there's a lot of rocks I can get rid of to make easier digging. That one's not budging, that one's not budging. That one is budging, but it's just too heavy for me, so I'll have to work around those guys. Lots of material ready. Let's go for round 2. I didn't pull the camera out once during that run, I don't think. But it's time for break number 2. I put a lot of material through the box that time. Oh. Again, not seeing anything on the surface. I'll let it run a little longer this time. Oh, I see a bit of gold in there, way up top. I see 2 pieces right there and there. But yeah, I'm sure it's loaded in there with fine gold. And the miner's moss is where most of it's probably settling down in right to the bottom. So that's gonna be loaded. Those first few riffles are loaded. Where did I see the gold last time? I think it was like right about here. No, it was actually right up here, I think it was. Oh, there we go. I see gold down in there, and lots of it. Nice. Now the Fraser River has a lot of black sand, and you can really see that here. The riffles are just loaded in black. Some of them are locking up a bit because the light water flow I'm putting in. I'm not really rushing this box too much, so when I dig my finger through some of them, they go muddy, and that's a bit of mud down below locking up. So that's not ideal, but that's a factor of how little water I'm running through this right now. But there's so much black sand here. As I'm poking around, I exposed a piece of gold right there. Very, very, very flat gold here on the Fraser. So it's not surprising this is about halfway down the box before this settled out, because it can definitely surf down all that black sand. Gold. Gold. There it is, gold. I think there's a little one beside it too. Oh, I see one way down in there. Oh, I see a little guy over here. Water's still soaking into the pond really nicely. I'm having a bit of water fall back off the end of the hopper here when I overload the hopper a little bit. And when the water falls off there, it's going backwards a little bit and just settling in those rocks there and not soaking in, which is very strange. You would think it would just go right through the rocks, but luckily it's not, because my pit is way over there. Now we're probably about 15 meters from the water right now. This water going backwards is not making it down the hill. It's staying right there. It's not even flowing back into my digging, so I'm fine with that. No problem. Still a long ways from the river. Everything's good still. And if not, I'm sure Craig will contact me and give me the, ooh, bad, bad, bad. But no, I think I'm all within the rules today. And considering there's so much black sand that I'm gonna have here, I think this might be a great opportunity for me to try out the new shaker table that I was sent. Someone who makes shaker tables, little hobbyist shaker tables, little sort of desktop units, sent me one to try out. And I haven't had a chance to try it out yet because I haven't had the cons to go over it. This will give me a good opportunity to get some cons, some heavy black sand cons to put over that shaker table. That should be fun. But don't worry, at the river, I'll put it all in a pan so you can see what I got before I take it home cleaned up. Unfortunately, I left all my drinks back to the truck. I'm gonna have to run up and get those. This is break number 3, and I'm ready for a snack and something to drink. Definitely see gold in the box. I see lots in there now. I'll let it run a little bit longer before I shut down this time. I saw a real nice flake. It was just the sun. It's up in the dark, but there's a couple nice flakes there. Up on this ramp, bunch of little stuff. I am a little concerned I don't see as much as I would have hoped after 3 runs in the box. I would be guessing a gram per run, but I'm definitely not seeing 3 grams in there right now. Hopefully it is all hiding still. I won't know until I clean up. I only plan to do 1 cleanup today, but first let's go get something to drink. Well, alrighty then. I've had a snack. Well, I've had a drink, and it is time to get back to work. I looked around here and I think I'm going to actually try to find a different spot to dig. I have 45 minutes on the box right now, and I think if I do one more run of 15 minutes, that is exactly an hour on the box. And I think that is what it's going to be today. We will do exactly an hour on the box. We'll take this home, run it over the shaker table, and see how much gold is actually in there. And that will give me a chance to answer one of the questions that I get all the time. People often ask me, Dan, how long will it take me to find 1 ounce of gold? Well, that is kind of an unrealistic expectation. People, hobbyists out here, using high bankers or pans or whatnot, you know, they're lucky if they get a gram of gold, let alone an ounce of gold. On a good day panning, I get a gram, for sure. Good day high banking, it can be anywhere from 3 to 6 grams, sometimes less, definitely. An ounce almost never happens. But because I will have 1 hour on the box, it'll be very, very easy to calculate on this bar here how long it would have taken me to get 1 ounce of gold. I get that question all the time. I know I did a video of it a long time ago. Same thing, same spot. Let's see if the results are the same here today. 1 ounce of gold, wouldn't that be nice? All of a sudden it got really cold out here, and I see there is some nasty clouds blowing in. So I may only have a 15-minute run before snow starts falling and chases me out of here. Spring prospecting in British Columbia, you never know what you're gonna get. Sunburn one moment, snowfall in the next. Let's go look for a spot to dig and get digging. Here comes the train! Here comes the train! Choo-choo! Well, another little spot cleared and ready to dig. It's a bit closer, but it's a bit of a step up to get to the high banker. 15 minutes, then let's clean up. That is all I can do. That was another 15 minutes. I've been a full hour now. Time to shut her down. By the time I shut it down, there'll be enough time for that box to run itself as clear as I want it. Oops, my drink got buried in tailings. Well, I let the box run clear for quite a bit of time there, so there's not that many cons, not that much black sand. But I will be taking it home and clean it out in the shaker table to get an exact weight. But while we're here, we're definitely gonna throw this in a pan and see what it looks like. I see gold everywhere in this box, all through it. Hey, there's a piece. Oh, hey, there's a piece. There's a nice size flake and another nice size flake. Brilliant me left the gold pan in the backpack up at the quad, which is up the hill. Quick run up the hill, grab the pan, and get back, clean it out. Now, last time I did a video where I was figuring out how long it would take to get an ounce of gold. It came out to something like 8 hours. 8 hours to get an ounce. And I had lots of people say, no problem, I could do that in a day. Well, that is an hour high banking. Now, that does not take into account driving here, doesn't take into account carrying the stuff in, setting up, doesn't take into account all the time I spent removing rock so I could dig easier. It was just the time the high banker was running. So really, you'd have to take into account all those other things too. Last time I did this video, I think it came out to I could get an ounce in 8 hours high banking, something like that. And I had a lot of people say, oh, I could do that in a day. Good luck, good luck. There are a lot of people out there that are a lot more fit than me and could go for a lot longer. I worked for an hour hard today, and I'm ready to lay down and have myself a heart attack. I am exhausted. I know there are people that are more fit than me and can do a lot more, but this is hard work, and if you can do this for 4 hours straight, good on ya. I can't. Now, it is time for me to figure out how much we got there and figure out how long it would take to get an ounce, so let's go do that right now. Pretty easy to take this one apart. It's one little bracket with a wing nut. Pull out the miner's moss. Ooh, I see gold underneath the miner's moss. That's nice. Wash out that miner's moss in the pan, and then the whole mat just slides out nice and easily. Very simple. And I see gold all through this. Let's hope it adds up to something. 1 hour's worth of high banking. I'm hoping for 3 to 4 grams, but we'll see. I hate miner's moss. It always holds on to so much material. Who knows how much gold is still in there, even after I've rinsed it. That's why I like these modern mats so much better than miner's moss. So I'm seeing gold all through this section, and that's the section that's underneath the miner's moss, and it's an open miner's moss. Oh, look at it all. It's loaded, just loaded in gold. Nice. It's an open miner's moss, so the material can go right through it. And yeah, I'm seeing just a ton of gold in there. Well, I just bailed real hard on these rocks. The rock I was sitting on while I was cleaning out those mats rolled over, and in my attempt to save myself, I dumped the pan, and then in the attempt to save the pan, I dumped myself, and I bashed my elbow on a rock really hard. I landed on my back on a rock and in the mud. Ow. I think I'm gonna quickly pack up here, go and lick my wounds, cry in a beer or something like that, and then clean up these cons and show you what I got. I gotta be more careful. I think I actually saved all the cons at the expense of my elbow. That rock there I was sitting on, it rolled over. I bashed my elbow on that rock, my back landed on that rock, and my head sort of went down into that mud. But I think I saved the cons. Really sucks that I don't know if I lost any of the cons when I fell over. The pan was full of water, all the water sloshed out, but the cons seemed to still stay in the bottom. And it would have landed down here, and I don't see like fresh stuff on the surface, although yeah, it got washed by a lot of water. What really sucks is I was hoping to get an accurate amount of what I got today, and now I don't know if I lost any of it. Well, I'm going to assume I didn't and go with that assumption for now. And if I don't get very much gold, I will change that assumption. I'll blame me falling, of course. So I had a fan of mine send me a little home-built small shaker table. And I just set it up. I just turned the water on for the first time, never used it. I'm going to try to use this to clean up those cons I got at the Fraser River and see if it is an easy way to extract a lot of gold from a lot of black sand. Now, I will do complete videos on this shaker table sometime in the future. Right now, I have to get myself comfortable with using it first. So I'm just gonna experiment today with the cons I got from the Fraser and see if it cleans them up nicely. Check back in the future for a complete video. I have classified the cons down to 1/16 to run over the table. All the plus 1/16 material in the pan. Let's see if there's any bigger pieces of gold. Fraser's known for its fine, fine gold, not its big gold. But look at that, a nice big piece. Hey, I can pick it up. It's a picker. Not bad. That flake's at least 1/8 of an inch across, maybe a bit more than 1/8 of an inch tall. I'll like that. One big flake for the day, and 10 billion little ones. Again, I'm not going to show you this whole thing on camera. I want to use this machine enough before I explain how it works and show it in action. Not too bad. I don't think that's the 4 grams I wanted, but I'm pretty sure it's at least 3. I'll like it. Now that is quite the pile of gold. Yes, there's still a few pieces of lead in there, I know. Nice. Let's get that dried up and weighed. Actually, I'm going to pick out some of that lead before I dry it. This is hard to do through a camera lens. And the verdict is? The verdict is I still didn't get all the lead out. Anyhow, there's a little bit of lead in there. And there's my little pile of dry gold. It comes out to a pleasant 3.6 grams. That's a little bit more than it looked like in the pan. And that gold right there is what I'm going to use to mix up my next batch of Dan Hurd Prospecting Pay Dirt. Can be purchased on my website, www.danhurdprospecting.com. Now at 3.7 grams for 1 hour of running the high banker, that makes the math pretty easy. Calculate that all out, and to get 1 ounce of gold, it would take me 8 hours, well, 8.5 hours of straight high banker time. But remember, there's at least double that amount of time with the digging, clearing, setup, transport, and everything. So 8 hours on the banker, 16 hours in total, and on this extremely hot ground, I could have got 1 ounce of gold. And right there is what 1 ounce, 31.1 grams of placer gold looks like. Well, everyone, I'm sitting down and resting on the way up the hill. This is a steep hill to carry all this stuff. While I sit here, time to sign off. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave me that thumbs up. If I haven't earned your subscription yet, I hope I earned it today. And a big thanks to everyone for watching, especially my patrons. Because of the support of my patrons, I get to make these weekly episodes of Dan Hurd Prospecting. Hope you're all having a great day. Until the next one. Bye!